Who am I speaking with?
I'm Nick Stein. I'm the Director of Content and Media at Rypple, a social performance management platform.
And one of your first customers was, or still is, excuse me, Facebook. And you essentially did a beta test with them, and I'm sure many other organizations. And during that process, you learned a lot about user behavior, and as a result, had to change your product. Give me an idea. What did you learn about user behavior when it came to collaboration that caused you to change your product?
Well, it's interesting because our product actually changes every day. We literally push new code every day. And what we've learned is that you can make assumptions about behavior that often turn out to be incorrect. So, for example, on Rypple, you can connect with people much in the way that you would connect on Facebook. And when we first started using the product, we thought, hey, if we give someone an incentive, pay them $25 to invite people, maybe it'll give them, more of an incentive to go out and invite people. Well, guess what? It turned out that giving people information about why they should connect and why it would be valuable for them to be able to connect in a social platform with the people that they work with and share information was way more valuable to them than the $25. And as soon as we took that away, the number of connections tripled. So that's just one example of how you can go in with assumptions about how someone's going to use your product, but until you actually really get them to use it and observe the way they're using it, you're never really going to be able to develop a product that people will engage with in the way that you want them to.
So money is actually a de-incentivizer, it seems, yes?
Yes, I mean, one of the big things that Rypple does is recognition. We allow companies, individuals, managers to recognize one another for great work in a social way. And there's been a ton of research done, and a book by the name of, it's called Carrots and Sticks Don't Work, just about what really motivates people. And it turns out that it's much more of an intrinsic thing. What motivates people is the idea of developing real mastery and competency over something, or getting recognized by a colleague for doing great work, rather than just money. Once you've reached a certain level of income, money ceases to become much of a motivator anymore.
I think actually everyone likes the income, but it's something about, I think, odd about the $25. But let's move on from that. So you were saying that what gets people to engage is, sort of this element of mastery. Can you boil it down to like some specific examples? Like, we noticed that doing this and this caused people to engage, and I'm talking like specific things people did within your environment, while other things kind of fell flat.
Sure. Well, I think one of the things that we had to figure out was, when you think about a social network, you think that everything's public, everything's shareable. And so when you're within a company and you're talking about literally giving people feedback on their performance, obviously there are aspects of feedback that you want to be public, like thanking someone for doing great work. You want everyone at the company to see that because it's a motivational factor. But then there are things like getting constructive feedback from your boss on something that you did that you could have done better, and you may want that to be private. So it was very much an exploration, a process of exploration to find out which behaviors were naturally public and shareable, and which ones weren't. And one of the big lessons we learned from Facebook is that you really can't use software to change existing behaviors. What you can do is use software to amplify those behaviors, to make the benefits better and to make it more efficient, and to reduce some of the friction. And the same thing with our recognition tool on Rypple. People used to say, hey, great job, John, to you when you were in the hall, or maybe they'd send you an email and CC your boss. But what we did with Rypple was we created something called Thanks, which is a badge that you can create and personalize and give to someone and thank them publicly for doing great work. And when you do that, that badge, that thanks, then becomes a part of that person's profile, a part of their reputation that they take with them throughout the company. So what we really did was we took something that already existed and we just made it more efficient and better for the person receiving it.
Excellent. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.